if you had the opportunity, we are talking about unlocking your greatness. Unlock means to open. Something is locked. Something is trapped within you. We want to open it. And for you to actually acknowledge that you can unlock your greatness, it means that you accept that there is greatness trapped within you. And like I said, too often when we hear the word greatness, we begin to say, oh, but I'm only this. I don't have that. I've not even been to school. I'm nobody. I don't even have a job. That's not what it's all about. It's not about titles. It's not about your status. It's not about what you have physically. It's what is within you. At that point of conception, it's just that when you see that seed, that orange seed, maybe mango seed, whatever it is, at that point you don't see a fruit. Am I right? Who goes and eats an orange seed? Who goes and eats a lemon seed? Nobody. Am I right? But that seed determines the end. That seed brings forth. It gives birth to the oranges that we consume at the end, to the final product. It takes the seed through that transformational process until it becomes the final fruit that it was destined to become. So in the same way, I want you to understand that at that point of conception, that's why we grew naturally. At that tiny fetus, we didn't even understand what was going on, but it was naturally designed. It was a master design that will start transforming. That fetus will start dividing, multiplying, and all of that. Then they start calling it a zygote. They give it another name. At a certain stage, your brain starts functioning. You know, all of this has come from within that fetus. Nowhere else. From that fusion of your mom and your mom's egg, your dad's sperm, from that fusion, you became that fetus. You gradually. So everything that you were to become, when I talk of your DNA being so complex and microscopic, we can't even comprehend it. Till today, science have not even understood, you know, every single code. They call it the genetic code in your DNA. And no scientists have ever come and taken your DNA, my DNA, to go and study me. It's like you cannot take another seed and study that in the lab and then you use that to define me. It's just like I said, when we take those 4 seeds, orange, lemon, lime, and tangerine, we'll put them in a box and just mix them. We'll say, oh, they are the same. Or maybe we go further and say they belong to the citrus family, which is the family where oranges, tangerines, and all of that come from. Like they will say, oh, we are all black. Or we belong to the African community. Or we are all women. But you are unique. If they take my DNA is different from yours. Even if we go, just limit it to my family. Even if we are identical twins that stayed in the same womb, let's go the closest we can. We lived in the same womb, yet we were separate. We're 2 different fetus. Even conjoined whatever identical twins, like I said, your DNA is like that blueprint. It's like your fingerprints. There is some story that is actually so unique to you when they take your fingerprints. That's why even in identification purposes, they take your fingerprint and they can tell that this is not this is another person. Because it's like a setting map, unique for unique for Sylvia, Sarah, Mama Jeanette, Mawa, Elizabeth. Oh, I'll call her. Perfect. So it's really understanding that when you were small, you can't say, oh, I don't want to be human. I'm only a tiny fetus. Oh, I'm not great. I can't be that girl who is going to school. I can't be that lady who becomes a doctor. You don't have control over that. You didn't create yourself. You were naturally designed to get to this final destination of a human being. And when we're born, we're babies then, weren't we? We had no control to say, oh, I don't want to grow. I just want to be stuck as a baby. No. We begin to unfold. They begin to take transformation. Transformation begins to take part within us. And everything just falls in place by that natural master design, what you and I were called to become. And what I'm saying is like, isn't it amazing? Think about it. If everybody knew that you as a child, maybe you grew up where you were taken care of by foster parents. Your parents were not even there. And they knew that Awa is the next president of the United States. Awa was so vulnerable. Awa cannot make decisions for herself then because you were only a baby. People will surely destroy you. Those who are jealous, those who are envious, will trample on you before you ever take root and become fortified. Am I right? So it's really for a divine purpose that until we are ready, Like right now we are reading this book. You know, those who purchase the book, they want to know, what is this greatness that maybe Dr. Sylvia is talking about? I don't think there is greatness in me. I want to tell you, it's not how you think. However, for this greatness to be made manifest, your thoughts have to play. We need to transform your mindset. We need to transform your way of thinking. You need to start thinking as truly someone who is great. As truly someone whom even today, I'm only a seed. Yet I know I'm destined to become fruits tomorrow. Even though today I'm only a tiny little orange seed, I know that tomorrow I must become an orange fruit. However, there must be a process. If you don't step and start nurturing, which is what we're going to do throughout this process, if we don't stop and take that seed and say, oh, I'm going to a garden. And in this book, there is also the part of the garden. I liken your mind to the garden. So I take you towards that journey from holding your seed, from visualizing the fruits that's going to come out from that seed. So once you are sure that this is my end, this is my fruits, like I said, buy their fruits, like Sarah was saying, people cannot deny it now. People cannot deny it when I put an orange fruit there. They cannot just label an orange fruit like, oh, it's the same like a mandarin or an orange or a tangerine. Am I right? You cannot at this point. If you do, you are ignorant, because there are some specific words, traits, qualities, characteristics that tells us that, wow, this is a woman. This is a great fruit. We can see it. By the fruits, we know it. So, but if we don't take action, unfortunately, that seed of greatness will remain trapped within us. It's like I've said before, you know that if you tie up a child never uses their leg from bed, the child will not be able to walk with that leg. We need to work to strengthen the muscles. We need to use it. Everything that is created needs to be used to be able to fulfill its potential. What we don't use loses its power and potential and become dormant. It's that if we don't exercise using our brain, if you look at people who are so, you know, greatest definition of stupidity, they don't even want to think. They want things to be said to them. Honestly, I'm sorry to say that, but Sarah is laughing. That's true. Because as you don't use your brain at all, you don't want to think, you want people to think for you, put everything, then you become, unfortunately, you're not able to process anything and think. They ask the simple thing now, you are looking at everyone, what's the answer? What did they say? Because you've not trained your brain. You've not used your brain. It's exactly the same thing. If we don't use this seed, if we don't put it in its most natural environment where it's meant to be, the greatness within us, it will not thrive. And that's why you see you see people living and they feel unfulfilled. You see some people saying, oh, I'm going to take my life because I have no purpose. Because they cannot see that greatness. They are not ready to help that greatness to sprout, to mature, to grow. And they feel worthless, because it's only until that, you know, that seed becomes the final fruit that you are like, wow, my journey is complete. Am I right? When we sow any seed, it has to grow until it produces the tree, the flowers, and then the fruits. That's when they say harvest season. Harvest season is only at the end, when the fruits have been produced, or the flowers, whatever it is that we were actually sowing. So it's the same for you and me. And what I want to ask you now, even though I'm using a seed, it's a metaphor. Metaphor is like, un exemple, ce n'est pas que tu es un, comment on dit seed, Sarah, sème? You're muted, darling. I've forgotten. Grain, merci. Même si tu as une graine, ça ne veut pas dire que tu es vraiment une graine. Tu vois, non, c'est un exemple. Comme ça, tu peux imaginer. Donc, parce que dans ces graines-là, quand on va cultiver ça, ça va devenir, produire le fruit qu'elle est déjà dedans. Les graines les oranges, par exemple, ne va derrière ou bien dehors pour chercher les oranges. Les oranges, c'est déjà entre les grains. Donc, ça devient les oranges. C'est déjà entre. I'm not going to speak French anymore. You're laughing at me now. It's within it. Tu comprends, n'est-ce pas? Tu ne peux pas dire que je vais chercher mon greatness maintenant. Où est ce greatness que Dr. Sylvia est en train de parler là? Moi, je ne vois pas. Non, ce n'est pas dehors. C'est dans le grain là, dans ton DNA. On doit seulement laisser comment on dit, de se révéler. On doit cultiver ça dans un terrain qui est, comment on dit, fertile. Comment on dit fertile? Ah, Sarah is thinking too. Sarah is thinking. Fertile, la fertilité. Oui, fertile. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Elizabeth. So we cannot go and look for it out there. Your greatness is not out there. It's within you. It's always been within you. It's what you were born to become. It's everything within you. And honestly, when you understand this, you begin to live life differently. You are not your status. You are not some black woman. You are not some asylum seeker, refugee, foreigner. You are a masterpiece. Tu es tellement unique. Tu es tellement spécial. Il n'y a aucune personne comme toi dans sa vie. So it's time for us to understand we cannot leave this seed. And what I say, I want you to think, if you were to choose a grain, si tu devais choisir un grain, qu'est-ce que tu vas choisir? Est-ce que tu vas choisir un grain des oranges ou bien un grain des papayes? Je ne sais pas. Ou bien des guava? Qu'est-ce que tu auras choisi? Qu'est-ce que tu décides de devenir? Ce n'est pas une coïncidence que tu as on dit décidé, this desire, de devenir certaines choses et non et pas autre. Your Creator has put this desire within you, this passion, this yearning, this hunger, que tu as faim de devenir certain type de personne et pas l'autre. Donc, c'est une indication de ce que tu dois devenir. It's an indication of who you have to become. That's why, even though you have not seen that yet, you desire it. That's why maybe if we were to speak to oranges, if they were to think, when we put them under the ground, what happens? All they desire to become when they grow, they don't become mangoes, they don't become guavas. If we could hear them, I'm sure they're like, I can't wait to produce oranges. Je ne peux pas attendre de devenir, une enseignante. Je ne peux pas attendre de devenir une infirmière, une médecin. Je ne peux pas attendre. J'ai décidé de devenir ça. Pourquoi? Même si tu n'es pas encore cette personne-là, tu n'es pas même allé à l'école. Tu parles à un enfant qui a 7 ans. Qu'est-ce que tu dois devenir quand tu es grandi? Moi, je vais devenir un docteur. Moi, je vais devenir un président. Pourquoi ils n'ont pas dit que moi, je vais devenir un avocat? Why have they not taught? If you talk to your little children now, I'm sure, Elizabeth, what do you want to become? Every little child will tell you something. Until society starts boxing them. Until society has put them in that box. You are only a black. You are only the daughter of a single woman. You are only the daughter of an employed mother. You cannot go anywhere. Then when you ask that child what they want to become, they kind of shrink. I don't know. My mom says I cannot become that because nobody in my family has ever become. My teacher says je ne peux pas devenir un docteur parce qu'il n'y a aucune personne dans ma famille qui est jamais allé à l'école. Donc moi-même, je ne peux pas devenir. Les enfants commencent à parler dans ces manières. Quand quelqu'un lui a dit que tu ne peux pas devenir ça. Quelqu'un a mis les limites, une limite à ce qu'ils peuvent devenir. That's when you see children start limiting themselves. When adults, teachers, even parents have put a limit over them. This is all you can ever become. Maybe a carer, a nurse. You see, sometimes some people, they walk about when they see blacks, they just ask. I remember once, you know, someone's like, I was working in the Royal Hospital. Oh, you're working in the Royal Hospital? Ask me, what do I do there? Are you a nurse? You know, it's like they just think some level, a woman, a black, she's got to be a nurse. She cannot be a doctor. And then again, they go on. When I said no, or are you a... So the doctor was never the next. Why don't you just ask? What do you do in the hospital? So my darling, phenomenal ladies, I just want to remind you. I want to remind you. I want to place emphasis. Please, I am pleading and begging you. I'm so happy we are the same skin color. Most of us here. So if I have this mindset, then there is no excuse for you. Maybe if I were white, you would have been like, oh, it's easy. And like I said, it's got nothing to do with my qualifications. I'm not even working in the hospital. I left it to say, okay, I can throw away the qualification. I'll have the same confidence. I can work with the lowest of society. I will have the same confidence. I don't need to be in some prestigious building called hospital with some prestigious title to show my level or my greatness. Because the greatness is not really from the things we get externally. The greatness has already been within us, has always been within us. So think about it. If you were, the next stage now that we would do, right now I'm just asking you, what seeds would you like? Remember, you choose your seeds based on the harvest, right? Based on the fruits. You will never choose, let's say we want to go sow. This is spring, people start sowing. You have a garden, right? All of us, we've been given a garden at our home. Wow, Sarah, Sylvia, everyone here, Mawa, this is your garden. This is springtime. Prepare your garden. Go get the seeds you want to sow. How do you choose your seeds? It's simple, based on the fruits you want to reap. Comment est-ce que tu vas choisir les grains que tu vas cultiver dans ton terrain, dans ton jardin? Tu vas choisir par rapport à la fruit que tu vas avoir à la fin, n'est-ce pas? Donc, si tu sais ce que tu vas avoir, quelle qualité de fruit, quel type de fruit que tu vas avoir à la fin, quand on fait le harvest, harvest c'est quoi? Ah well, you better tell me than laughing.
The last thing.
Sarah, you don't have to think. Tell me what's harvest now.
I'm not saying how to put the word.
À la fin, quand tu dois raccogliere ce que tu as séminé, on dit séminé, that's Italian, seminare. On dit séminé. Yeah, on dit, comment on dit? Semer. Ok, en italien on dit seminare. Donc j'ai dit séminer en français.
Okay.
Semer.
That is why sometimes you give Italian words.
I do different, yeah. Donc c'est que tu dois semer. Donc tu dois choisir, n'est-ce pas, Awa? C'est que tu dois cultiver dans ton terrain, dans ton jardin, par rapport à la fruit.
Harvest is it what we're going to
Collect at the end.
Yeah, at the end, that's what I
Sowing
do.
and harvest.
No, semer, that's what is.
You sowing, that's sowing.
Récolter.
Récolter, raccogliere in Italian, raccolter.
récolter.
Récolter. Donc tu dois faire ça par rapport, n'est-ce pas? You choose a seed, Elizabeth. You don't just say, I'm choosing orange seed, because you know the fruits you want to harvest. And because I'm sure you cannot choose a fruit which you have not tasted, which you don't like, am I right?
Yeah.
You can't say, if you don't love, what fruits don't you love? Anybody here, just tell me a fruit that you don't love.
What fruit I love or I don't?
You don't love.
What fruit I don't love? I love fruit.
Okay, perfect. I love that. Okay, tell me your best fruits. If you were told that you have to plant only one fruit in your garden, what fruit would you plant?
Avocado.
Hey, Sarah. Okay, perfect. What would you plant, Awa?
Mango.
Oh, I love mango. Perfect. I'm sure I'll go for mango too. What will you plant, Elizabeth?
Apple. Apple.
Apple. Wow.
Yeah.
Mawa, what will you plant?
Orange. Orange.
Oh, lovely. Mama Janet, what will you plant in your garden?
Unmute yourself, tu es fermé. La volume là, c'est fermé. Yeah, apple.
Apple for mama as well. I'm sure I may plant mango too. I love grapes, but if I have to choose grapes, between grapes and mango, I'll go for mangoes. Yeah, I love grapes. I love mangoes as well. I would definitely. Why do we choose all of these? Next week, Sarah, you put them in groups, okay? We'll put them in groups. I want us to really go deep because so we will get so deep into the seed thing.
1:10, but we can get just 5 minutes.
Perfect. Thank you, Sarah. So Sarah will put you all in groups next week. And Sarah, we're going to sow, okay? We'll go to our garden. We'll look at the whole process. Why do you choose? You want mango. If I want mango, can I sow apple and expect mango? Apple seed?
No.
No. If you want apple seed, can you sow mango seeds and then you expect apple at the end?
No.
Okay. Or can I sow, Sarah wanted avocado. Can Sarah sow apple and then at the end, Sarah is blaming the garden, kicking the garden that how come you produce apple when I love avocado? I wanted avocado, but she sowed apple.
Apple.
And then start blaming people, my neighbor, because my neighbor did that and that, because that's how we live life. You cannot want happiness. This seed as well go beyond physical. The seed of joy, the seed of peace, the seed of love, the seed of kindness, the seed of that calm, peace. Peace is not an external thing. Peace is never out there. Le paix, ce n'est pas dehors. C'est dans nous-mêmes. L'anime, c'est ça on dit? Our soul. Le paix, l'amour, ce n'est pas dehors. C'est dans notre cœur. Tu ne peux pas dire que moi, je veux raconter l'amour, mais j'ai, comment on dit, j'ai semé. J'ai semé hatred, le malheur.
Oui.
Je ne peux pas faire ça. Si je vais semer le malheur, il faut raconter le malheur.
Le malheur.
If you sow hatred, that's what you expect to reap, the fruits of hatred. If you want peace, you love peace because it's a tiny seed at the beginning. As you begin to practice, wherever you go with peace. You speak with peace. People curse you, you bless them. You are growing. You are producing more peace. You are producing several amounts of peace. And it becomes so easy. It becomes so natural, so effortless that even when there is war around you, even in a home where people are quarreling, you can be in your room and you are singing and dancing because you have been sowing peace. And it produces after its kind. You can't want a sound mental health and every day you so worry. Negativity. You are negative. You want a healthy mind? You cannot. Tu ne peux pas prendre le grain de négativité. Et tu cultives ça, et tu sèmes ça, et tu dis que chaque jour, je ne suis pas bien. Parce que je pense seulement à la négativité, les choses négatives, tout ça. C'est pas possible. Mais si tu as pris le positivité, if you sow positivity, you sow peace, you sow forgiveness, you will reap forgiveness. Mm-hmm. And we have that power. There is greatness in each one of us. This is a spiritual concept. We are spiritual beings. We are not just physical. These words I'm speaking, you can't touch them, but they have the power to transform lives. These words are spirit, but they go deep in your soul and take roots. And they begin to produce the fruits of positivity, of optimism, of yes, I can, of yes, I'm valuable, yes, I'm worthy, yes, I'm great, no matter what is happening in my life now. So I will leave you here today. Remember, this is your time. The harvest, ce qu'on doit racolier is determined. Ce sera déterminé de ce qu'on va semer. What you're going to harvest is never determined by anything else but by what you sow. Okay. If I sow oranges, I must harvest an orange fruit. The harvest is determined by the orange seed I sow. If I didn't sow orange seed, I sowed mango, my harvest must be mango. You can't sow positivity and reap negativity. C'est pas possible. It will be positivity. You can't sow a great mental health. You are calm, you are prophesying, you are affirming, I am great. Yes, it doesn't matter. I see the best in me. And then you become depressed. It's not possible. You cannot reap what you've not sown. If you keep sowing positive, I guarantee you, your mental health will flourish. It's a principle, it's a law of nature. So beloved, as we leave you today, go and think. Go and think. So these seeds, the seeds look grand. It doesn't necessarily mean I've given you 1 point. It can be orange seed because you love oranges. You love mangoes. What do you love? Do you love peace or you love chaos? Do you love joy or you love sadness? I think nobody loves sadness. If we love joy, can we go and start sowing joy? Get your seed of joy. Do you love that beautiful face that's always happy and smiling? Or a face that's always moody and angry? Let's go and sow the happy smiley face. Like I can see you. And Sarah, I'm sure my time is out.
Out. 1 minute, 16 plus.
Awesome.
All is good. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for...
Thank you. Vous parlez bien français. Thank you.
Merci, merci, Ara. But you were laughing when I was talking.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when I start talking français, quand je commence à parler en français, j'entre dans le mot et c'est comme si je suis en train de conduire. Mais quand j'arrête, c'est difficile de recommencer. Je ne trouve pas bien les paroles. On doit avoir un cours en français.
Oui, oui.
A Voice of Nations.
Ah ouais, si elle va t'enseigner.
Super. Okay, my amazing, wonderful ladies, sending you all lots of love. And remember who you are. You are destined for greatness.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Love you too.
Love
Thank
you and God
very
bless.
much
Thank
for
you.
joining today. God bless you.
God bless, darling. Thank you all. Lots of love.
Amen. Thank you. But we cannot hear you. Your volume is muted. So thank you. We'll see you.
Awesome. Thank you all.